Most people view shipping delays as a minor inconvenience, a predictable, almost trivial event where a ship shows up late, products take a little longer to arrive, and prices tick up slightly at the store. But that is not how global logistics actually operates. In the architecture of modern trade, time isn't just a line on a schedule, it is a rigid structure that holds everything together. And when that structure is compromised, the system doesn't just slow down, it begins to suffer a total structural collapse. The real danger of a shipping delay isn't the passage of time itself, but the systematic destruction of timing. You see, modern logistics networks are not designed to absorb uncertainty or handle unexpected shocks. They are meticulously engineered to eliminate delay entirely by synchronizing every moving part as tightly as possible. From factory production lines to port terminal handling and final warehouse delivery, every single stage relies on surgical precision. Goods don't just need to arrive on the right day, they must arrive within specific micro-calibrated windows that every downstream process is already built around. So when a single delay hits a major route, it doesn't just push a shipment back. It shatters the invisible coordination that makes the global economy function. On the surface, global trade appears smooth and predictable, a steady rhythm of ships moving along horizons and shelves being restocked without fail. But beneath that calm exterior, the system behaves less like a flowing river and more like a high-stakes timetable, where every container is a vital link in a chain that connects distant factories to your local store. Consider the reality of just-in-time logistics. Manufacturers need specific components to arrive at exact hours to keep production moving. Warehouses rely on scheduled arrivals to manage their limited space. Retailers depend on consistent cycles to avoid the twin disasters of empty shelves or expensive overstock. This system is designed to cut storage costs and maximize the velocity of capital, but it achieves this by systematically removing all the buffers. It leaves absolutely no room for error, meaning a single late arrival can paralyze an entire production line thousands of miles away. There is another, more invisible force at play here, the collapse of effective capacity. Imagine the global fleet as a single, massive engine. When a route is disrupted, forcing ships to take longer journeys or wait in anchorage, each vessel completes fewer trips over the same period of time. Even if no ships have been lost and no cargo has vanished, the system's ability to move volume begins to evaporate. You still have the same number of ships, but the clock has stolen their utility. This creates a vacuum of scarcity that isn't immediately visible on a map, but is felt instantly in the market. This ghost scarcity drives competition for limited space, causing freight prices to not just rise, but to explode in a desperate bidding war. When the delay finally clears, the schedule doesn't just resume. It unravels through a phenomenon known as vessel bunching. Instead of a steady, manageable flow of ships arriving one by one, ports are suddenly hit with massive clusters. Weeks of delayed cargo crammed into a few chaotic days. Ports are not built for these violent surges. Cranes become bottlenecks, storage yards fill to capacity within hours, and containers sit idle because there is nowhere left to put them. This congestion then bleeds into the land. Truck schedules fall apart, drivers spend hours in line for a single pickup, and warehouses are hit with more inventory than their labor force can possibly process. The system shifts from a controlled, professional flow into unpredictable, destructive bursts. And in logistics, these bursts are way more damaging than a simple delay. Once this congestion begins, it starts to feed on itself. A delay at the port slows down the trucks, slow trucks disrupt warehouse operations, and warehouse congestion then pushes back all future shipments. It is a feedback loop where the friction of today's failure creates the foundation for tomorrow's collapse. Because our supply chains are so deeply interconnected, these disruptions are never contained. A bottleneck in a single strait or a delay at a single terminal ripples outward, messing with inventory levels in markets that seem completely unrelated. It is a chain reaction that builds pressure across the entire global network until the logic of the system itself begins to fail. This is why we must stop calling these events slowdowns. They are structural failures. What is breaking isn't just the speed of delivery, it is the coordination of human effort. Coordination is the invisible foundation that allows the global machine to work efficiently. Without it, even if the goods are physically available, they are effectively useless because they are not where they need to be at the moment they are needed. When a shipment arrives late, the true cost isn't the time lost on the calendar, but the loss of timing across the entire ecosystem. A delay in one place becomes congestion in another, and that congestion spreads until the system is forced to reorganize itself under extreme pressure. Shipping delays don't just slow things down, they fundamentally change how the world works. And as we have seen time and again, once the rhythm is lost, it takes far longer to recover the harmony than it did for the original disruption to break it.